Coming up on Lifestyles, eco-friendly electric tuk-tuks are being introduced to Egypt. A Cuban man takes to the streets of Havana on his 4-meter-high bike. And locals in New Delhi explore the city as part of this year's walking festival. Hello and welcome, I'm Zhang Zhao in Beijing. You're watching Lifestyles on CNC World. China's State Post Bureau said at least 331 million packages were handled by the country's postal and courier companies on Singles' Day, which fell on Saturday. It shows an increase of 31.5% from last year. The number represents only some of the 850 million orders placed on Saturday. China's Singles' Day, which is marked on November the 11th, became an online shopping event in 2009 when e-commerce giant Alibaba's Tmall began promotions. Alibaba sales this year hit over 168 billion yuan, up from 120 billion yuan in 2016. Besides, JD.com also started promotions at the beginning of this month, reporting over 127 billion yuan of orders. SPB Deputy Director Liu Jun said Singles' Day is a challenge for the logistics sector in both order volume and service quality. The SPB expects the number of packages handled between November the 11th and 16th to hit 1.5 billion, up 35%. The daily volume could be as much as 3 times the Euro level. Tuk-tuks have long been seen racing through the world's cities using their small frame to dart in and out of traffic. Now the little vehicles are coming to Egypt. Only these ones are near silent. Let's take a look.
The electric tuk-tuks have been introduced to Egypt as a way to overcome the expensive local fuel and as a way to make the country a bit eco-friendlier. Each is equipped with a couch at the back, a sunroof, air conditioning, in addition to a counter that shows the electricity rate consumption. Their batteries are charged for 8 hours, which allow each four-wheel vehicle to run for about 10 hours. A co-owner of the tuk-tuk company said the newly imported technology is helping to solve a lot of problems at home. Due to its cheap fares, Egyptians heavily depend on tuk-tuk, in addition to the fact that it's a fast means of transport in busy streets. It also created a lot of job opportunities in Egypt.
Ukraine has started the construction of a nuclear waste facility near the site of the destroyed Chernobyl nuclear power plant.
The central spent fuel storage facility would cost an estimated $1.4 billion. It's set to be built at a 30-kilometer radius exclusion zone around the plant. The Ukrainian government said the first stage of construction would be completed in 2019. The facility will store spent nuclear fuel from the 3 Ukrainian nuclear power plants. It's also aimed at boosting Ukraine's capabilities in managing and storing its nuclear waste. Currently, the East European country relies heavily on Russia for storing spent fuel from its power plants. Ukraine generates over half of its electricity from nuclear energy, with 15 reactors and 4 nuclear power plants operating there.
Like many people, Felix Gorola enjoys cycling around the streets of Havana. The only difference is Felix's bike was made by himself and is almost 4 meters tall. Let's take a look.
The 52-year-old has been remodeling bikes for nearly 4 decades. His passion could date back to August 1981, when he first saw a tandem. Unable to afford one, he decided to make his own. His first work as a 2-meter-high bike, which he showed off at a local carnival in his hometown of Ciego de Avila in central Cuba the same year.
I have it here in my house. I still keep it.
Gorola claimed that he held the world record for the tallest bicycle between 1987 and 2004, despite that no one knew except his neighbors. In November 2010, Gorola moved to Havana, where he lived in the basement of an old Art Deco building. There, he ran a small workshop, working with metal pieces and bike parts. It was in that workshop where his desire to break the Guinness World Record became an obsession, the one he finally achieved. With a 7.3-meter-high bicycle, Gorola beat U.S. bike maker Rich Trimble by over a meter. Trimble even traveled to Havana last April to visit Guirola, and the rivals have established a close friendship.
At
the moment, he is preparing a tandem 6 meters high, 2 seats to ride between the two and set a record with 2 hands.
Guirola's wife is already used to her husband's obsession. Guirola even sometimes ferries her to work, some days on top of one of his unique giant bikes.
That's why I'm not afraid of height anymore, because I got to ride with him for a long time, and I lost my fear because I see that he's a genius with bicycles.
Guirola goes up and down his bicycles with an amazing ability, a legacy of his years as a boxer. He won 4 national championships in the 48 and 51 kilograms divisions. Watching him riding around the streets on his mega bike is still a spectacle for passers-by, especially for children.
That's a unique thing because I would not do that. He deserves a great prize because he's a man who knows, who has balance and is brave. Against the air, against everything, that guy with that bike up there, my brother deserves a prize. Well, the bicycle is, I think that the way it was structured seems to me is a work of walking art. The Istanbul Marathon was held in Turkey's largest city on Sunday, with over 120,000 people taking part from around 100 countries and regions. Take a look.
Abraham Kiprotich from France and Ruth Chepngetich from Kenya crossed the lines first to take the men's and women's titles respectively. The race route starts from the July 15th Martyrs Bridge on the city's Asian side, before crossing the water and taking in several locations on the European side of the city. 86 athletes joined the full course race, while the free walk open to amateurs drew the highest interest with over 100,000 runners registered. The most challenging part of the track, for the elites, was the last 2 kilometres, a gruelling uphill stretch on the historical peninsula of Sultan Hamid Square. This year's theme is Running for the Future of Our Children.
This year's Beirut Marathon took place over the weekend, with another bumper year of participants. Let's take a look.
Bahrain's Eunice Chumba won the women's marathon, while Dominic Ruto from Kenya became the men's champion. Each also picked up a $3,000 bonus for breaking the course record. Lebanon's top finisher in the men's race was Hussein Awada, who came in 9th. Nizrain Najiem led the Lebanese athletes in the female race with a 10th place finish. Lebanese First Lady, Nadia Aoun, participated in the 8-kilometre fun run and officially started the para-athletes race. Since the event's inception in 2003, almost 400,000 runners from 105 countries and regions have participated, raising $1.3 million for charities along the way. This year's competition drew 45,000 participants and more than 4,000 volunteers helping the race to run smoothly.
The Kensington Wade Prep School is the first of its kind in Western Europe, offering immersive English and Chinese education for children between the ages of 3 and 11. Lifestyles went to take a closer look.
Despite the focus on Chinese, children of any language background are welcome. Currently, there are 15 students in the prep school studying half the day in the English classroom and the other half day in the Chinese classroom. There isn't a word of English in the Chinese classroom, as books here are in Mandarin and laid out are traditional Oriental fans, scrolls and artwork. Its headmistress is Joanna Wallace, who previously ran Putney High, one of London's high-performing private schools.
I think China is playing an increasingly important role in the world, and what we want for these children is to be able to, when they grow up, be able to understand, be able to converse with the Chinese, but also understand their culture as well. So we're not just learning the language here, we are very much a bicultural school as well.
With fees of £17,000 per year, the school also attracts an international group of parents. Wallace says the parents are mostly business people who are either working with China or understand the importance of Chinese. One teacher knows how British parents used to encourage their children to learn French or Spanish with one eye on holidays. However, now a rising number of parents are realizing the benefits that Mandarin can have on their children's future careers.
As the parents said, China is developing very fast, and they hope that their children could go to China to find business opportunities. As you can see, the parents consider things in an economic perspective more than a language. I think the strong development of China plays an important role.
The school's opening comes as part of wider push by the British government to get more children speaking Chinese. In 2015, the Britain's Department for Education launched a new £10 million initiative to expand Mandarin teaching in state schools across the country. Hundreds of pupils are taking part in the program, which aims to make at least 5,000 young people fluent in Mandarin by the year 2020.
Nigeria has launched the first mobile science lab in the northwestern Katsina state. Katsina is one of the country's poorest states, and the quality of education is incredibly low. To bridge the gap, the state government and the charity organization Volunteer Service Overseas have come up with a program named Mobile Science Lab. The mobile van with a set of lab resources and a qualified teacher trainer rotates between 15 schools reaching around 7,500 pupils. And over 400 schools are to be covered by this pilot project.
Because we believe that we are far lagging behind. For us to be able to compete within the country and globally, we have to put education as our first priority.
The Mobile Science Lab offers an interactive, get-your-hands-on-it learning experience. It introduces a better understanding of science, math and technology and inspires more young people to explore science through practice.
That we have a van that has equipment for science subjects in a context where there are schools who will take science subjects but do not have laboratories.
Data showed that Nigeria has a low performance in science and mathematics education. Due to the lack of funding for infrastructure and laboratory supplies, science subjects in most of Nigeria's rural schools were taught using theory only. The Indian capital of New Delhi is attempting to get people walking and learn more about the city they live in. Lifestyles went to see more.
This year's Delhi Walk Festival sees the city open up for 11 days with around 170 curated walks around its different areas. The festival is one of its kind in India, bringing together authors, journalists, historians, urban planners, architects, and culinary experts. As well as getting some exercise, participants also can get a peep into usually missed or unknown parts of the city.
Delhi has a rich cultural and historical legacy, a lot of which is being rendered invisible by the rapid pace of urbanization. Walking is not just an act of connecting with the city, but also making its spaces more breathable and livable.
Heritage walking has been gaining popularity in Delhi, mostly driven by middle-class professionals who otherwise have no time to explore the city. The Walk City of Delhi seems like a confused piece of antiquity surviving into modern times. Old narrow lanes of plaster peeling from the walls, while electrical cables dangle from the buildings. Commercialization has crept in, with many of the old houses turning into shops. Walking with fresh eyes, many of the participants lament how parts of the city are falling into ruin.
Well, this Walk Festival actually exposes to not only to the beauty of the city, but to the decay of the cultures, living lifestyles, heritage, architecture, and the physicality of the city and the mentality of the city both.
Look at this place. You are going into the intricacies or internals of this place. I have been to this place many times, but I haven't looked up and seen all those dilapidated buildings. So now, as a Delhiite, I do want to save this culture, and if something I can contribute, I'll be very happy. And through this walk only, I can get to know about these things.
With the rapid urbanization and the greater reliance on transport, walking in Indian cities is at an all-time low. In a recent study, the average Indians were found to walk just 4,300 steps a day, putting the country 39th out of the 46 overall.
The Dubai Air Show is stunning audiences with a series of displays from performers from around the world. Lifestyles went to watch some of the action.
China's Aviation Industry Corporation and Air Force acrobatic team are showing off their skills at this year's air show. The event kicked off on Sunday in Dubai, drawing in international turnouts of 160 commercial and military aircraft. Chinese Air Force's August 1st air demonstration team was invited to participate for the first time and will display their acrobatic skills with 7 J-10 aerobatic fighter jets. China's Aviation Industry Corporation is also bringing aircraft to the air show, including unmanned aero vehicles. The show, which has drawn around 1,200 exhibitors, is focusing on the future of travel, including space travel and new technology. The air show will run until November 16th and is expecting over 70,000 visitors.
A Chinese-American philanthropist has been recognized in New York after a career providing thousands of scholarships to college students.
Dr. James S.C. Chow is a Chinese-American merchant mariner, business leader, and philanthropist. On Saturday, he received the Dynamic Achiever Award from the OCA Westchester Hudson Valley. Founder of the Foremost Group, Dr. Chow has actively promoted values in education. Over 5,000 students have benefited from scholarships funded by the Chow family. In his speech, Dr. Chow emphasized the importance of education and dedicated the honor to his parents. Leading the praise was Dr. Chow's daughter, the U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Elaine Chao.
Today, Asian Americans make up about 5.7% of our country's population. That's up from less than 1% in 1965. Americans of Chinese descent are about 24% of the Asian Pacific American population. And as tonight's awards reflect, more than half of Chinese Americans aged 25 and older have a bachelor's degree or higher. Our community has contributed so much to America, and our community will continue to contribute so much to an increasingly diverse America.
In Jordan, Chinese Cultural Week activities at the King Abdullah Center in Zakka Governorate started on Sunday. The activities were launched to mark the 40th anniversary of the diplomatic ties between Jordan and China.
The activities were launched to mark the 40th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Jordan and China. Chinese ambassador to Jordan, Pan Weifan, said the Cultural Week provides an opportunity for the residents of Zakka Governorate to know more about the Chinese culture and the ties between the two sides. Several activities, including a children painting exhibition, a photo show, and Chinese film screenings, will be held over the next 7 days. A permanent Chinese cultural center is due to open in Amman soon.
For thousands of years, jade has been used to show off wealth, social status, and bring luck to its wearers in China. Now a new exhibition has gone on display in northeast Jilin province, home of the Songhua jade variety.
The exhibit in Changchun, capital of Jilin, opened on Saturday with 168 pieces created by jewelers from China and Europe. Many accessories displayed are inspired by deer and panda, made of Songhua jade in rich natural color. Songhua jade is only found at Chiangmai Mountain in the province. There are only 28 tons of Songhua jade, which can be used for ornamental purposes. Buried under the land for 800 million years, Songhua stone has long been used by locals. The gem was seen as a national treasure until 300 years ago. It was used as inkstones for emperors or as an unword for successful officials. The material was not rediscovered and mined until the 1980s.
With over 100 years of vehicles on show, walking through Athens Motor Museum is like stepping through time. Lifestyles went for a behind-the-scenes look.
The museum covers just about all of motoring history. The oldest is an 1895 Hunia horse-drawn carriage with a water pump that was used as a fire truck, while one of the newest is a 1980 Ferrari 308 GTSI. In between, there are vehicles from some of the biggest names in the business, such as Bentley and Bugatti, as well as some forgotten ones such as Avion Voisin, Adler, Delage, and Dino. According to the general director of the museum, the collection is mainly thanks to one man. The museum first opened its doors in March 2011. Dedicated to technology and four wheels evolution, each exhibit has a different story to tell.
Among the popular cars of the collection is the pink-colored Imperial Crown Comfortable Chrysler, which belonged to the frontman of the rock group Led Zeppelin, the legend Robert Plant.
It was built in 1959. Only 555 units of this model were produced at $5,800 each, or around $46,000 today. Due to the size of the collection, displays are continuously swapped in or out and can be themed around special exhibitions. In a special place in the museum, visitors can also find the permanent exhibition made by Hellas for cars manufactured, assembled, or designed in Greece. As a private-funded organization, the museum cannot be supported only by the tickets. While the cars were all bought for a price at auction, Philip Halsey says at heart they are priceless.
That's all for today's program. For more news and highlights, follow us at our website, en.cncnews.cn. Thank you for being with us. Bye-bye.
云天无际，承载梦想。中国南方航空是中国运输飞机最多、航线网络最发达、年客运量最大的航空公司。亚洲第一，全球第三，是南航缔造的业界奇迹。蓝天壮志情，云海普华章。
同心地产，芝加哥最大的华人中介团队，无论是家居或是商业地产，给你带来全方位的最佳服务。
专业的团队，丰厚的经验。
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the Lake Cook Law Group.
投资理财、法律咨询，芝加哥专业律师团队为您的梦想提供最安全的保障。
This is Little Chinese Channel, 小小中文, Lesson 25. In this lesson, we will be teaching you these 6 Chinese characters. From our last lesson, we learned the character mi. If we put a horizontal stroke on top of the dot, this makes lai, means to come. Lai dao. Means to come to. Lai is part of this character. We turn lai back into mu and put a second mu on its left side. To make ling means woods. Shu ling means woods. Next, we'll learn a new root character. take a 人 and put 2 dots like this to make 火 means fire. 着火 means on fire. If we take 火 and put a horizontal stroke and a down stroke to the left on top, this makes 灰 means ash or gray. 灰色 means gray. If we take away the downstroke to the left, but leave the horizontal stroke, it turns into 灭 means to extinguish. 灭火 means to put out a fire. 火 means hot or fire. If you put a second 火 on top of 火, its main reason is very hot, which is 炎 means inflammation or flame. 发炎 means inflammation. Okay, let's write. When you're writing, follow the stroke sequence. 来 零 火 灰 灭 炎